kindly request Shri Ashok Sajjanhar, Chairman, Mountain Climate Trust, to come forward for the welcome address.
Good morning, friends. First of all, let me say what a great pleasure it is for me to welcome each and every one of you. At the outset, let me convey my deep appreciation to our musician and to the singer for the Ganesh Vandana, because I think that has really set the tone for our meeting today and for the several initiatives that the Mountain Climate Trust plans to take in future. Honorable Chief Guest Sant Balbir Singh Ji, distinguished speakers, trustees of the Mountain Climate Trust, esteemed participants and friends. It is indeed my proud privilege and pleasant duty to extend a very warm welcome to this first seminar that is being conducted on empowering mountain communities by the Mountain Climate Trust. There is, of course, a global acknowledgement that climate change is the existential threat that the world faces. And of course, the world has to come together, has to unite to be able to confront this and to deal with this. India's track record, of course, as far as dealing with climate change is concerned, is quite commendable. In fact, India is the only G20 country which has met its Paris commitments so far. And it continues to take a large number of initiatives. India had committed in Paris in 2015 that we would have about 450 gigawatts of gigawatts of energy through renewable sources. And we have been able to enhance that to 500 gigawatts. We had also committed that 40% of our electricity will be through renewables by 2030. And we are well on the path to that. We have, of course, India has taken a large number of very significant far-reaching initiatives, starting with the International Solar Alliance in 2015, the Coalition on Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, again in slightly later, 2019, and then more recently, the Global Biofuels Alliance that has been launched at the recent G20. India's contribution, of course, to the global climate change is not as significant as some of the others. Just to give you some very basic statistics, India accounts for about 4 to 5% of the greenhouse gas emissions, although we have a population of about 18% of the world. There are other bigger emitters. For instance, China contributes anything about 28 to 30% of the greenhouse gas emissions. And the United States, with 1/4 of the population of India, contributes about 18% or so. Even in terms of per capita contribution, we have India contributing about a little more than 1 ton per capita per annum. And if you look at some of the OECD countries, they are emitting about 20 tons per annum. Even China is in the range of about 6 to 7 tons per capita per annum. So India is not such a significant contributor, but still it has taken its global responsibility and it has taken its responsibility to its own people very seriously. Now, of course, there are these macro initiatives that are taken, but what is really required is action on the ground. And that is something that the Mountain Climate Trust hopes to do. It was set up in 2021, just 2 years ago, and this is the first major event that we are organizing, and I'm truly delighted to have all of you here with us. I must recognize and acknowledge the inspiration and guidance of Shri Viru Dayalji, Viru Bhai, otherwise known to his friends and admirers. Without his inspiration, it would not have been possible. And of course, the hard work, determined work by Kulsoom Saifullah ji. She is here, and I don't think we would have been able to come together today had it not been for her hard work, meticulous work late into the evening. So a big round of applause for both Viru Bhai and Kulsoom ji. Friends, we have, as I mentioned, work on the ground is very important, and I think it's acknowledged that preservation of the environment in the mountains is absolutely essential for protection of the environment and for the promotion of the sustainable development goals. And we have seen that there has been a regression as far as the maintenance, as far as the achievement of the SDGs is concerned. We've had a number of black swan events, and unfortunately they keep happening with such tremendous regularity that sometimes I feel that they stop being black swan events after all, whether it was the COVID or it is the Russia-Ukraine conflict and now the Israel-Hamas conflict. I think these are happening so rapidly, and the impact, particularly on developing countries, has been very telling. So I do sincerely hope that our deliberations today, our discussions today, are going to lead us, give us some initiatives as to how we can protect the living communities in the mountains. And I'm truly delighted that we have Santji here, Sant Balbir Singh Ji, who's otherwise known also as Eco Baba, and he is going to share his own ideas, his own contribution, his own work. We have General Atta Hasnain. He is a member of the National Disaster Management Authority, and his experience and exposure in the mountains, I'm sure, is going to also add to our own understanding and appreciation both of the challenges as well as the opportunities that the mountains offer. We have a large number of eminent speakers, distinguished speakers. Several of them are here. And one of them, of course, we are going to have through, listen to him through the video, Dr. Kamaljeet Baba. We'll hear him through his video message. We have Shri Eklavya Sharma also going to be speaking to us. He is the member of board and distinguished fellow of Ashoka Trust for Ecology and Environment in Bangalore. We have Shri Falguni Rajkumar, former secretary, Government of India. Also Dr. Siddiq Wahid. So let me not take more time except to once again extend a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. We have program right till the afternoon, and even after lunch session also, we look forward to interacting with you and also finding ways as to how this initiative can be taken forward. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. I now have the pleasure to request Shrimati Zohra Chatterjee, Trustee, Mountain Climate Trust, to please come up and say a few words.
Sant Balbir Singh Ji, respected Viru Bhai, Mrs. Saifullah, and all the distinguished guests today, I'm honored to have this moment to address you. I think this day has come not a moment too soon when we've had the earth-shaking earthquake last night. I happened to be traveling back from Calcutta yesterday, and as I descended into Delhi into the smog, it was a clear warning that the time to act has come. The warning has been coming year after year, but we only feel helpless and not able to do very much about it in our individual capacities. Mrs. Saifullah has taken the lead in, if we cannot do anything ourselves, let us at least help those who are working for this tirelessly day and night, and let us support them in whichever way we can. Each one has their own sphere of influence. We can help in some way or the other. And so I salute you, Mrs. Saifullah, for this initiative and her tireless energy in motivating all of us to join hands with her. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best on your endeavor.
I now have the honor to request Mrs. Kulsoom Noor Saifullah, Founder Trustee, to introduce the event.
Namaskar to all of us, the trustees, all our great attendees today who have braved the earthquake, have braved pollution to be with us. Thank you so much. So just a few words about who we are and what we do. So we were registered in 2021, and our patrons, Shrimati Ila Panji and Shri Virendra Dayalji, are our inspiration. Their love for the Himalayas, its flora, fauna, and people have enthused us all. Their gentle wisdom is so encouraging. We are privileged to have with us Sant Balbir Singh Ji, Lieutenant General Ata Hasnain Saab, Dr. Falguni Rajkumar, Director of the GB Pant National Institute of Himalayan Environment, Sunil Notiar, Kamaljeet Baba, who will be on the screen because he is in Boston, Eklavya Sharma ji, who's here, Dr. Siddiq Wahid, and most of all, I thank all the representatives of Wildlife Institute of India, MIT University, and scientists and researchers from the Ministry of Environment and Forest. Thank you all for being here. 2 words just about our trustees and how we began. Since the first day, we have woven dreams and ideas, and the first session was chaired by Ashok Sajjanhar ji, who has now, of course, taken on the mantle of guiding us through this. He and Mrs. Zohra Chatterjee as co-chair, because she has a vast experience in the Indian Administrative Service, are a huge asset for us. Thank you, Zohra ji. Brigadier Yogesh Kapoor is a great asset too and has done most of the legwork over the last 2 years. I can't see him. Thank you, Yogi. His humor makes our work seem like a picnic. And that is how work should be. Thank you again. Mr. Sunil Panji, formerly Chief General Manager of State Bank of India, advises us on all things financial. He's a bit dismayed that we don't have finance, but he guides us anyway. His empathy and erudition pick us up when we falter. Thank you. As a young banker, he has worked extensively in rural development and is a fund of ideas. And I think that is the most precious fund of all. Thank you. Viru Bhai, much as you have asked me to speak slowly, I continue to do this. Our other trustees, Spalses Angmo from Ladakh and Brigadier Bhatt from Dehradun, are not here today, but remain deeply loyal and committed to our work. A few words about our advisory board. We owe a great deal to Shri Inder Raj Aluwalia, celebrated journalist and author, who organized our first meeting with stakeholders in the mountains and who interacted and gave their inputs. I'm glad that he and his associates are present here today. Thank you, Inder Raj. Mr. Sanjay Verma, after a glittering corporate career, volunteers as consultant to us on issues big and small. Unfortunately, he's in Kasoli today. Mrs. Vijay Kumari, as a trustee of FIAPO, advises us on wildlife issues. Shri Pamit Tip, tea planter and exporter, dreams of helping marginal tea farmers lead a better life. Though he is so passionate and has traveled with us everywhere, he's not here today because it's his wife's milestone birthday. So they are in Goa. Shri Lajpat Rai, hotelier and promoter of Buddhist tourism, is always willing to lend support. Captain Swadesh Kumar has been flagging the poor conditions of Sherpas and porters and shall speak about this later today. Welcome. A wonderful ally in our endeavors is, I think she's not yet reached, but I will have to say it, is Mrs. Pamela Singh, who has hosted all of us many times at her home in Dehradun. Ever generous and helpful. Thank you, Bubbles, Aruna, Biji, and Veena Sethi for being here. A word about Veena ji. Veena Chandyok ji is here. She runs the most fabulous school in Srinagar, which is 120 years old. It is called the Devki Arya Putri Pathshala, and it is a school that has 70 to 80% young Kashmiri children. And I think... Yes, and they are also related to Kapila Vatsayanji. But thank you for coming. And she's always encouraging and, doing what she has to do. Then we have a network of wonderful friends, all engaged with the environment. I think they are all on their way, but I will acknowledge them anyway. Dr. Ahmed Zahir, who lives in Kasoli and does very good work for waste management. Yusuf and Ganeef Zahir, who've been whitewater rafting and done everything that is to be done in environment. Dr. Thadani, who's here today, who did his forestry from Yale and then came to India and has worked in the mountains extensively. And Ravi Kamer for joining us. Thank you so much. A special mention here of Sarita Zohra, a passionate social activist who promotes her causes through her plays. Thank you, and Mishraji, for the folk music you shall sing today. And to each and every one in the hall today, a big thank you for braving earthquakes and pollution to be here. Thank you again. This is a civil society initiative. The earth, the air we breathe, and the water we drink belongs to all of us. Let us all unite and initiate a movement that engages each citizen. I hope we shall join hands. Lastly, 2 words about our projects. The last 2 years have been of intensive fact-finding on the ground. Both Brigadier Kapoor and Pamitib visited Palampur, Dehradun, and Kamau. As a result, and we have engaged with all senior administration and technical people. So we do have a fair knowledge of what needs to be done. As a result, we have chosen 3 little NGOs to begin with. The first one is run by the wife of our trustee, Brigadier Bath. As you can see, Brigadier Bath and his charming wife in blue on the screen. He is a passionate environmentalist and runs a small farm. You can see him with Pamitib there, showing off all the wonderful things he grows. Zareen, his wife, volunteers in teaching rural women computer and English skills. She, over the years, has got them jobs, made them confident, and she's a celebrity in her own right. Through their venture, Bilzar, they are promoting products made by women entrepreneurs in the tiny sector. They're not here today because of ill health, but they are our heartbeat. The second project is of the tiny tea farmers in Palampur who are struggling to survive without capital or machines. With increased demand for green and hand-rolled tea, we hope to increase the marketability of their products. But it is in Almora that we have found our dream project, a cluster of 5 small villages struggling to reverse migration through homestays, ecotourism, organic farming, and heritage tours. It is the model we wish to support and replicate. The promoter, Vikramjit, is here and shall share his presentation. But you can see him on the screen there. And there is Palses with me drinking tea because she is not here. So, and said that please do say hello to, most of all, Dayal Saab. So she will be here later this month. You know, it's hard to come from Ladakh and go back. So, and so we continue on our journey, hoping to become a strong voice for the betterment of mountain communities as they struggle against the challenges of natural disasters and climate change. I urge all of you present here today to join us in this mission. In the words of Swami Vivekananda, rise, awake, rest not until the goal is reached. We shall not rest. We shall not rest. We shall not rest. Jai Himalaya. Jai Hind.